I'm worried for Aunt Vicky.
So am I, Tina. You gonna be with us in court today?
Sure, I'm going with Greg. I'm going to go over to his house in a little while. But she didn't change her plea to insanity, did she?
No, she still refuses to change it, even though that just today...
Even though... What?
Morning, Tina.
Oh, Uncle Joe, did something happen? I heard a lot of arguing down here this morning, and then Mr. Faulkner...
Oh, it's all right, Bob. You showed Tina the note. We don't keep anything from her.
The note? You mean there's another Nicky Smith note?
I'm afraid so. I found it shoved under my office door earlier this morning.
You'll never frame me. Don't try, Nicky yet. But don't you see that this must mean that somebody's trying to frame Aunt Vicky, because I know she went to bed before I did last night. I mean, so she couldn't possibly have put this under your
honey,
door.
I'm sorry. It isn't quite that cut and dry. When I got up this morning, your Aunt Vicky wasn't in bed. I came downstairs here and found her asleep on the couch.
What did Aunt Vicky say about this?
Why don't you ask her that yourself, darling? This new note is not evidence that Nicky Smith exists, because I spent the entire night in this room and I did not leave it. Now, they seem to find it very incriminating that my coat is here. But my coat is here because I got cold during the night and I went and I got it. Do you believe me, Tina?
Oh, of course I do.
Good. Because my husband and my attorney do not.
Vicky,
Furthermore, they think that this is just more proof that I should plead insanity. But I'm not going to. Because I am neither guilty nor insane.
I know you're not. And I don't want you to change your plea to insanity. But I don't want you to go to jail either.
Which is the whole point for the new plea.
Excuse me, Bob. Tina, weren't you going to see Greg this morning, dear?
Darling, why don't you just go on ahead? There's no reason you should be caught in the middle of this anyway. All right?
Aunt Vicky, no matter what happens today, no matter what the DA says, I know they're not going to convict you of killing Marco. They just can't.
Well, we hope not, sweetheart. Go on now. I'll see you this afternoon. And try not to be upset, okay? Good girl.
Vicky, it's not that I'm convinced that you wrote this latest note. I still think you should change your plea. And I'm not going to apologize for trying to convince you of that, because by refusing to testify, it's the only defense Paul Martin and I can give you.
Bob, I know that you and Paul are trying to protect me as best as you can. Therefore, I understand your position, and I don't blame you at all for it.
Bob, can I trouble you to wait for us in the car, please? I'd like to talk to Vicky alone for a moment.
Of course.
Thank you. You don't blame our attorneys, but you blame me.
That's right. That's right, Joe. Because either you've lost faith in me completely, or you've just been pretending all along.
Vicky, that is not true.
Oh, Joe, come on. 1 minute you tell me that I should plead insanity, and then you say, no, you don't think I'm really insane.
Well, honey, I don't.
Yes, but you wake up in a panic because I'm not lying in bed next to you, and then another note is found, and right away you start wondering why my coat is down here, and did I really not get up in the middle of the night and go out? Joe, but all that, of course, doesn't mean that Nicky Smith has returned.
Well, of course it doesn't. I'm simply asking it an obvious question.
No. No, you're not, because no matter how many times you change sides or whatever, what words you use, I can see in your eyes what's really going on, Joe. And your eyes are filled with doubt. In your heart, you doubt me.
Vicky, in my heart, I am terrified, absolutely terrified of losing you to a president, honey.
No, you're not. You're terrified of losing me to Nicky Smith. Please, don't deny it. It's there, darling. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes, just the same as I saw it earlier this morning. You know something? The only thing that has kept me strong and has kept me going through all this without cracking up is my absolute conviction that you believed in me.
Vicky, I do believe in you, honey. I love you.
Love has nothing to do with it. It has to do with faith and with trust in me, no matter the circumstances. Please, don't talk to me about love while you have such a lack of faith.